What's up, YouTube? I hope everybody's having a blessed and wonderful day out there. I have a great video for all of you today talking about some very good stuff. We're going to talk about PSA authentication and grading services and the different submission types that they offer, the different services that PSA offers. So if you have ever thought about grading your very own cards, we are going to talk about what a grading service offers. Now, bear in mind that most grading services across the spectrum are going to offer close to the same type of submission types, the same services out there. So this will pretty much help you across the board if you are thinking about grading your cards with a different company. The first thing I do want to preface this with is, why do you want to grade your cards? What makes you want to grade and encapsulate your cards? And typically three things come to mind when I think about this. And number one, generally, is because you may have a card from your childhood that you have a connection to. Maybe it has some sentimental value and you want to protect this card from the elements out there, so that way this card can last a very long time and you can have it for a very long time. Now, the next reason why you might want to grade and encapsulate your cards is because you are building a collection. You want to have your cards protected from the elements, but you also want to showcase them in your home, on your wall, in your office, so that way people can see what you're into. You want to showcase some of your favorite sports players or your nostalgic Pokemon collection where people can be in awe when they come in there and see it, right? And the last thing, which a lot of people like to do, is get a return on your investment. Now, myself, I am a collector / investor, so I do this in both arenas. Now, I do like to get a good return on my investment, so particularly I do grade with PSA the most. And the reason why I say that is because PSA has a long track record. They have sold multi-million-dollar cards, and they have a lot of high-end collectors, investors, and sellers out there who encapsulate their cards with PSA. Now, let's go ahead and get into the four submission types. We are on PSAcard.com's official website. The first thing that they offer is grading services. So they do not just grade standard cards. They do grade a bunch of other stuff, a plethora of other stuff out there, including memorabilia and coins. But grading is based off of a PSA 10 point grading scale from 1 to 10, and this is where they will grade your cards. So we just talked about why you might want to grade your cards, but PSA, it says, is the largest and most respected third-party authentication and grading company in the world for trading cards and memorabilia. Whether vintage, modern, or TCG, PSA authenticates and grades cards throughout the hobby. So this could be a great reason to do that. Now, the steps involved are authentication for step 1. Step 2 is grading, the grading process, and step 3 is encapsulation. So for the purpose of this video today, I'm not going to talk about the entire grading process because it is very, very thorough and it will take a bit of time. But if you are interested in learning how to grade your very own cards and send them in yourself, I do have a very thorough how to send your cards to PSA video. I will link down in my description down below, and you can watch that video. It will show you the packing process and everything else involved from start to finish. Now, let's go ahead and get into the second submission type. We have crossover. So what is crossover? Crossover, people typically do for two reasons. One of them is because you might want to get a better return on your investment. Maybe your card is in a no-name slab or a company that is not that established, and you want to have a better return on your investment, so you want to put that card in a PSA slab. Well, you can do that. You can send a card from any grading service to have it put in a PSA slab. Now, bear in mind, you might get a lower grade, which could make your card worth even less, and you are still going to pay PSA for the encapsulation of your card. And another reason why a person might do this is because of consistency. Maybe a person wants to have only PSA slabs or that grading service within their showcase. So that could be another reason. The third submission type, this is something I have never used, but this is something else they offer. This is the review process. So this is where your card has already been graded and encapsulated by PSA. You would not crack it out of the slab, and you would send it in because you believe for some reason that it qualifies for a higher grade. So once you send this card in, they would go ahead and assess it and see if it qualifies for a higher grade. And why would you use this review service? It says there's no risk of losing your original labeling and grade if your trading card does not upgrade. An increase of a plus grade could increase the value of your trading card, and the certification number remains the same. So if it does not grade higher, you will still pay for this service. and the last thing being the Reholder service. So what is the Reholder service? The Reholder service applies to trading cards that are currently graded and encapsulated by PSA that the customer would like to be placed into the most current PSA holder. This would also be if it was cracked or damaged. So say you had some damage to a slab and you would like to have it re-encapsulated, you can send it in for that, but it cannot be crazy damage where it has damaged the card even more. So if they can tell there's been damage done to the card, they would not just re-encapsulate it with the same grade. But if it is minor, they will re-encapsulate the card. But it's also for consistency, because say you have a bunch of vintage cards in your collection, some old cards may carry the old PSA label and you want to have the new label across your entire collection for consistency, you can have them sent in and re-encapsulated to have the consistency with the most up-to-date PSA label. So I hope this explained all of these submission types and gave you some information if you're out there looking to grade your cards. So if you enjoyed this content, hit that notification bell, tune in, subscribe, and I'll be back soon with more great content just like this. I'll see y'all later. Out.